Hello and welcome to the in-news series of Drishti IAS. I am Pooja Dwivedi and in this segment, we are going to talk about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. This topic is important from the perspective of prelims, but also important from the perspective of GS Mains Paper 1 and 2. So let's begin with the topics of discussion step by step. First of all, we are going to talk about why news. We will also talk about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. We will talk about its importance from the point of view of India. We will talk about the challenges it poses and the way forward. And in the midst of the segment, I'm going to ask you a prelims-based question for which if you know the answer, you can comment in the comment segment. So let's begin with why news. India, for the first time ever, has presided over the Heads of Government Council meeting. Now, this was a summit-level meeting. And this has been the first time ever that India has presided after gaining access to or as a full membership at the SCO in 2017. The Prime Minister of India has deputized his role as the chairman to the Indian Vice President, Venkaiah Naidu. And also, the Prime Minister of Pakistan deputized his role to the Parliamentary Secretary. Now, if we talk about how did the meeting go, Venkaiah Naidu teared in Pakistan by saying that there is a collective need to fight the scourge of terrorism. Now let's talk about SCO. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization is a permanent intergovernmental international organization. It's a Eurasian political, economic and military organization which is being used to enhance peace, prosperity, security and also stability in the region. It was created in the year 2001 after the SCO Charter was signed in the year 2002, which came into effect in 2003. The SCO Charter outlines the organization's goals as well as principles, as well as its structure and its core nature basically. And if we talk about the two languages of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, they are Russian and Chinese. So let's move forward and talk about the members. Members are 8 in number if we talk about full-time members. Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, then Republic of India, Pakistan and China. If we talk about the observer states, they are Iran, Belarus, Afghanistan and Mongolia. Can you please tell me about the dialogue partners of SCO in the comment segment? Thank you. Let's move forward and talk about the genesis or origin of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So, prior to the creation of SCO in the year 2001, the 5 members, Kazakhstan, China, Kyrgyzstan, Russia and Tajikistan were known as the Shanghai Five. Now, Shanghai Five in the year 1996, it emerged from a series of border demarcation and demilitarization talks of the 4 former Soviet members with China. Why? To ensure stability around this region, around the border region. After the accession of Uzbekistan in the year 2001 to the organization, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization was renamed. The Shanghai Five was renamed as Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And India and Pakistan attained full membership of SCO in the year 2017 in Astana, Kazakhstan. Moving forward, let's talk about the organization, the objectives of the organization. What are they? The first and foremost organization's objectives is that it needs to ensure peace, stability and security in the region, to enhance mutual trust and friendliness in the neighboring countries. Also, to enhance effective cooperation in the arenas of polity, then research and development, also culture and also trade and economy. Let's talk about the structure. There are 5 bodies through which this works. First is the Heads of State Council, which is the supreme SCO body, and it decides the internal functioning as well as interaction, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's interaction with other states and other international organizations. Second comes in line the Heads of Government Council. Now this approves the budget and it also considers and decides upon the issues of economic spheres of interaction within the SCO. Then comes The Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs, which considers the issues related to the day-to-day activities of SCO. The most important for India, regional anti-terrorist structure, which is established to curb terrorism, extremism and separatist tendencies in the region. Then comes the Secretariat, which is based in Beijing, which provides informational and analytic information to the members. Let's talk about the importance of SCO to India. If you have heard me in the first segment, in the first part of the segment basically, I told you that the role of Prime Minister as chairman to the meeting has been deputized to the Vice President. So why was it so? Because according to some sources, it is being said that the role of President for the SCO this level of meeting is just ceremonial in nature, like the role of President is there in any parliamentary democracy. Then why did Pakistani Prime Minister deputize his role? Because the spilling over of tensions of India and Pakistan in previous SCO meetings, because in the NSA level meeting, the NSA, National Security Advisor level meeting, Ajit Doval chose to walk out the video conference when his counterpart used a map in which it was shown that Indian territories belong to Pakistan in his background. Now, significantly, the tensions between China and India has not yet overshadowed any of the SCO meetings. So, if we talk about the importance as of now, it needs this. It needs to keep the diplomatic channels open in order to engage in constructive diplomacy to find at least not permanent, if not permanent, then interim solution to the border disputes. And in the light of the above statement, it can also strive for a permanent solution by building common ground. Of course, if you are going to build on previous interim solutions, then only you are going to find the permanent solution. Then India needs to take advantage of rat structure, because India is a victim of terrorism from its neighboring country. So this is the importance of SCO for India. If we talk about challenges, SCO as a whole is right now facing the biggest challenge of balancing sheer diversity of SCO despite being geographically close and sharing common history. Second, more challenging things for SCO are like fighting terrorism, extremism, separatism, as well as drug and weapons trafficking and illegal immigration. But for India, India is finding it very hard to engage more constructively with SCO because its role in SCO is being challenged because of the inclusion of key rivals as SCO members. For example, Pakistan's inclusion in SCO, which is posing potential difficulties for India. Now, India is also finding it very difficult to assert dominance in this region because of the key founding members of SCO. China and Russia are dominant powers in the entire world. Also, India is finding it very difficult to balance its relations with the West because SCO traditionally has adopted an anti-Western posture. What is the way forward for it? That SCO should be used as a platform to enhance convergence and not divergence, and to deepen solidarity and mutual trust, and also solve all the disputes through dialogues and consultation. Now, India should also, not only India, but also other members should use this platform to de-escalate tensions between India right now with other of its neighboring countries like China and Pakistan. If not very, then it will give at least some mitigation to India in order to take this process forward, take the border dispute forward. SCO right now is needed for India. So that's it for today. I'm concluding the piece. Tomorrow I'm going to turn up again. Thank you so much for watching.